Hello there my fellow Holotable heroes, and welcome to another Rise of the Empire territory battles video. Now this one feels like coming for about 3 months now. I've been talking about it, saying I'm working on it, and finally 2 weeks ago, so in the previous run of territory battles, I was finally able to put together a full clear of Sector 4. Well, I guess full disclosure, it's a theoretical full clear just because my guild we are kind of staggering the planets in Sector 4 over like 2 or 3 days even sometimes. So while these battles were not recorded in a single phase, I did ensure that I did not reuse any of the units. So from that perspective it would be a full clear if we would clear everything in a single day. So hopefully you'll find this video useful and helpful, just showing you what teams I put to good use. Some battles were a bit kind of, maybe a little bit on the edge, and they always are, seems like it. And also worth mentioning, I do not have Balin, I do not have Galactic Legend and Ahsoka Tano unlocked as well. So those are like 2 teams as well that I think they do pretty well in territory battles. So obviously if I would have them, it would make this full clear even easier, but I was able still to get it done with what I have. Obviously, you are limited here with relics, so we need relic 8 units to complete these missions, and as well having 4 planets. Definitely Sector 4 is probably the most challenging of them all from that reason, and some of the missions are quite tough as well, as you will see. Some of them are a bit of an RNG fest as well. But anyway, we'll just make our way from dark side to mix to light side, and then finished off with the bonus planet on Mandalore. As always, there'll be YouTube chapters below if you want to skip ahead to any particular planets and mission. Otherwise, we'll just kick off here on the dark side of Haven. I'll also be speeding up some of the missions as well, so this video is not like 2 hours long or something. So we'll kick off with a special mission. So this is I think the only one. Oh no, there's another one, Kessel, so it does give out get free currency. The only requirement here I think is Reva and Inquisitors, so if you obviously do have Marok in there with his Omicron, will make it easy. But even this, it's very easy, very straightforward. You absolutely smash these fools. The battle is probably one of the quickest battles here on Haven actually. And then in second phase we have got, like, I guess, leaderless Pheonix squad without Hera, but still you have to be careful. The first time I was doing this, I did not prioritize ability blocking Sabine, and her AoE wiped out I think 2 of my Inquisitors. We're still able afterwards to win with only 3 Inquisitors alive left, but obviously I wasn't sure I do have an ability that can land ability blocks on Sabine before she gets her AoE out, because it does a lot of damage. So as long as you take care of Sabine very quickly, then at this point, I mean, Zeb can still like one-shot your Reva, but obviously Reva's got 2 revives anyways, so it's not too bad if he does take her down at some point. But yeah, definitely second one Zeb, and then Ezra and Chopper. They're no real threat in this battle for the Inquisitors. So I guess starting off with kind of a straightforward mission here. As long as you got your Inquisitors and Reva Relicate, no matter the comp, I think you should not have issues completing this. Okay, let's move over now to the generic missions. Sith Eternal Emperor, not the best lineup here, but this is what I have available for this mission to use with Sith Eternal. So obviously you link up 2 dudes, and then bringing in their Dooku for the stuns is very important. Unfortunately they resisted the stun there, but let's go ahead get a fear out. So this is important at this point. I don't want to use AoE from Bane, because this will obviously remove fear from all the enemies, and then they will go and they can nuke out your squads even with their basic attacks. So that's why I use their basic with Bane first, obviously depending on your turn order. But definitely if everybody's feared, you just want to let them be feared. And now when they lose fear, now we go ahead and hit all our specials, hit our AoEs. Obviously just try to utilize their Dooku's basic and special to stun them if you can. Again, not the most ideal lineup. Definitely Malak and Malgus here would be helpful, but spoiler alert, they are needed elsewhere. They're key to another mission here on Haven. which we'll get to it a bit later on. So that's why not the most optimal lineup, but for the most part this team gets it done for me. But yes, by definitely by no means like, you know, 100% win with these guys for me. But yeah, maybe if I would have to put a number on it, maybe like 75. So like 3 out of 4 attempts I win with this team. Sometimes they just kind of resist all the stuns from Dooku, and that really kind of derails your run. So let me know if what's Sith Eternal comp without Malak and Malgus, if you're running it, does well. Keen to find out what you guys are using, or Sith Eternal 4 here in Sector 4, but that's the use I have for him, unfortunately. I don't know, maybe once we get some other units, something else will be better, but for the meantime, this will have to do. Boom, there we go. And to the next wave, we again got a Pheonix squad. No Hera, no Sabine luckily this time. So really the biggest threat here is again the rebel, no, the partisan fighter, and I guess Ezra. So let's go and link them up. The important thing here obviously is that from obviously wave 1 into wave 2, you are into ultimate, but that you have your link ready of cooldown. So first move, Sith Eternal, you're already in ultimate, then you just go ahead and link, and then on his next turn he can go ahead and zap these guys. And as soon as Ezra, but most importantly partisan fighter, is down, these guys simply don't have damage output to deal with you. So something to obviously to keep in mind, that you need to have your abilities here off cooldowns in ultimate already, so you can immediately link and on the next turn zap them out. So let's see if Eternal one. Then the next generic mission one that we do have here is gonna be the Lord Vader lineup. Now this one, I would say probably 90% win rate. There's a not case where for some reason I don't win, but for the most part this is definitely quite reliable. Again, maybe not the most optimal Lord Vader lineup, but this is what I have at Relic 8. I do have Relic 9 Short Trooper, so that's for one of the operations in later phases. So I'm just using a Short Trooper here as well. But you know, definitely Piet, Maul, Lord Vader will be the core. Obviously Royal Guard as a tank is nice, but I don't know. Again, if you are using Lord Vader, what lineup are you using here? How is it working for you? Keen to find out your guys' experience as well. Maybe also gives me some ideas how to improve my teams as well, just to make them more reliable, potentially even autoplay. To be honest, maybe Lord Vader could autoplay this. I tried autoplaying, but I got mixed results on autoplay because, you know, AI is not the most clever. But yeah, same thing. We'll just kind of go after partisan fighter first. He's the biggest threat, and everybody else are not really that scary, to be honest, in these generic missions. For the most part, you kind of get through it. Yeah, just whenever I've got Mark from Piet available, I do put it obviously on Lord Vader, just to, you know, help out a little bit Short Trooper and Royal Guard with the taunting there a bit. Hit the ultimate, and then I can go ahead hit autoplay at this point, and we are good to go. And now probably what's going to be the toughest mission, Sortie. So I've already shown this team before, and this is where I need my Malak and Malagas. So first we go ahead and stun BT, then we barely make it out alive from Sortie's AoE. Obviously Fallen Basti and Kylo Ren and Mas, they had foresight from Basti's unique, that's why they can survive no problem. Then Malak can go ahead, does his drain on BT, try to let some fears if you can, and then we're just going to go ahead here and start swiping. And obviously with Kylo Ren and Mask, whenever we crit, our first auto allies are gaining bonus turn meter. That's why like Kylo Ren, Supreme Kylo Ren is taking a lot of turns. Let's go ahead, keep wrecking Sortie's cooldowns. Let's see how we're looking. Let's go ahead and stun Sortie. We do have to finish off as well BT before it takes a turn, something to bear in mind. Okay, let's go ahead and do another AoE, and I started getting almost back-to-back turns because of all those crits from Supreme Kylo Ren's AoE. Unfortunately though, they lost Kylo Ren and Mass, so not the cleanest run actually. For the most part I have everybody surviving, but you know, there's always a bit of an element in RNG in this one. And also sometimes it can throw me off a bit if Sortie does not start off with her AoE, because this team really is built to survive the AoE and take it from there. So obviously in that case you had to a little bit adjust your strategy on the fly. But for the most part, as long as Sortie starts off with an AoE, you should be good. Again, once you hit the ultimate, you can just keep swiping with Supreme Color and over again to get bonus turns. There we go. Alright. Sortie still does not have her AoE ready to be used, but anyway, let's go ahead and stun her with the final turn in the ultimate, and then we can just go ahead, keep swiping, finished off their HK. Sortie died from those, what is it, some brain worms or whatever it's called. And now, guess what, second wave, same thing. However, here luckily at least we start off first because we have turn meter right from the previous wave. Here is again slightly different, I guess. I start here stunning BT because I had everybody, because I had Sortie feared. So definitely I think in this way stunning BT is the way to go. We're on the full ultimate and we just hit it again, and then we just keep swiping, hit it again. So you can see all these back-to-back turns, because for every crit we gain 20% turn meter. So if we crit all 5 allies, it's 100% turn meter. This way I can just keep going ultimate, AoE, ultimate, AoE until everybody fall down. And then the next mission that we do have here is the last, I think, generic mission. There are 3 generic missions, so you know, a lot of planets here in Sector 4 and a lot of missions here, especially on the dark side, so roster is really getting stretched. Now Night Sisters, Talzin, it's quite good here because of all the revives and everything, and Plague is spreading, and then it kind of double dips with that, you know, ignoring protection with Brain Worms and Plague. They work very nicely together. So these are the 4 teams that I used here. Well, I guess if we count Reva, 5 teams I use on Haven to get the job done. So again, keen to find out what you guys are using. Obviously, there are probably teams that work, but I don't have them at Relic 8. Does Great Mother work? I don't know. Do they work here? Not sure. But anyway, let's go ahead, finish off Partisan, heading in the wave 2. As you can see at this point, like after the opening sequence where I have everything lined up, I just hit full autoplay, and then for the most part you should be good to go here. Obviously Kanan is a little bit annoying here because every time he's debuffed, he's regaining health, but eventually you stack up enough of these brain worms on him that he just dies from that anyways. There we go, he died right there, and then you're just down to Chopper. You know, it's not that big of a deal here really. So I guess this is the longest portion of the video today. Haven, lots of missions here, and also they take a while. So let's head over to Kessel now. So that's the mix zone. I'm gonna again kick off same on Heaven with the special missions where we need Qira and L3. Probably many ways to do this. I don't know, I've just been since beginning of time that I could attempt this mission. I just kept using Rey. And then also because I do have now Relic 9 Young Han and Relic 9 Vander Chewie for their Vander special mission, I also just plugged them in there. Otherwise before, I can't remember initially who I was using, probably like Redis or whoever I had at Relic 8 or something. But I thought, well, I have them at Relic 9, they're not needed anywhere else anymore, so might as well just chuck them in here. But yeah, pretty much like Rey lead from my experience with L3 and Qira, and you know, good to have scoundrels in there if you can, just because of synergy. Like L3 will be cleansing them and things like that. You know, Vander's nice for the revives, but it's not like you need it, to be honest. So yeah, I even autoplay this a few times, so for the most part, even on autoplay with Rey, you can get a job done. But obviously here, because I was recording the full clear, I really wanted to make sure I do clear it. But you know, if you don't have time, sometimes when I don't have time, I just hit autoplay and usually they win. You know, again, AI not the most clever how to deal with the whole damage immunity things from Rey and things like that. So you can see at this point I just kind of hit autoplay, things are under control. I'll just speed up because yeah, these guys are quite tanky, so it does take a while. And yeah, it looks like I just full autoplayed the second wave anyways. Just the first wave that, you know, you kind of build up enough lifeblood and things like that, and then enough bonus protection for lifeblood, and then you can just hit autoplay. Here I was just moving the target around to make sure we do target pikes, because obviously they are the higher priority. They're the ones that actually deal damage. Like the other 3 pirates are like whatever, to be honest. They didn't do a whole lot of damage, so you should be good here. There we go. Bomb, 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 bomb. Down he goes. Alright, so the next one, it's definitely always a bit butt clenching, but somehow I always pull through. So this is where I'm missing like a proper team. So definitely like having somebody like, I think I like the Legend Ahsoka here would be good. Or obviously if I would have the Omicron or Jedi Cal, this would be better with him in the lead. But this is what I have left over if I'm trying to full clear here in Sector 4. Jedi Luke, just showing you the mods. So for this one, this is the only time that I did the remote in this whole entire run. Just made my Jedi Luke very, very slow. Alright, the opening, so the idea here is we stun one just to slow down their big hits at the beginning. I always lose Han. I even always lose Revan. Their whole point why I bring Revan in there is for the saver would trigger, but because he's far more squishier than the other Jedi, he just gets taken down anyways. But as soon as we take a turn, obviously we use Heroes Arise, Jedi Luke gets a turn, reduces the speed of the enemies, and then does a mass stun, and this is where obviously you get to town with these guys. I mean, Ezra, he's an absolute beast, to be honest. I don't know what else to say, even here in territory battles. He's the engine of this team, to be honest. Keep pushing turns, doing some nice big damage and things like that. Let's go ahead, insta-kill him. So I guess a placeholder team until I get Ahsoka squad up and running to relicate, I guess, because, you know, then Ezra will feel nicely with them. Anyways, there we go, got him down. But for the most part, like as long as Jedi Luke, Cal, as well as Ezra survive, which they always do for me until now. I've run this team about 6 times now. You can get, you have lots of control here, turn meter swapping and things like that. Han doesn't always make it, but he's not a Jedi, so he doesn't contribute a whole lot to this squad. It's really like Ezra constantly doing his thing, right? Let's see. Go ahead and pass turn over to Luke. Just trying to feed as many turns to Luke as I can. Just obviously he can get back to his AoE stuns as frequent as possible, just to slow down the enemy a bit. But yeah, Ezra there, he's kind of taunting with resilient defense. He's got quite decent evasion as well, so even when he doesn't have foresight, he often can dodge stuff. There we go, we got another stun. Going up after, as always in these waves, going after pikes first. They're the damage dealers, the other guys are just an inconvenience, to be honest, just something to delay the battle. To be honest, like CG could just leave 3 pikes in there, would not even need to include these pirates, because they, in terms of damage, I don't think they really do a whole lot, at least from my observation. There we go. So I guess this was, the easiest battle of them all in this video. Jabba one, it's a straightforward, you just kind of, I think, yeah, I just autoplay this one. I just make sure to remove the target, so the AI is kind of moving the target around, spreading the damage a bit, just moving the thermal detonators around, so these guys go down faster. We didn't even need a Rancor for the first one. Here the second wave is a slightly different team, but they're no match for Rancor and the thermal detonators, I guess. I mean, Boba might not make it. Well, there we go. Pom pom. So yeah, Jabba mission on this planet, straightforward. You can just autoplay it without issue, even without an optimal Jabba squad. And then the good thing about Kessel is it lets you undersize, so you can take 4 units. So you can save some relicate materials on here. Obviously, if you do have Relic 9 gun guns, I guess they could be a nice team to use here probably as well, instead of that my weird Jedi lineup. But Queen Amidala as well, if you do have her squad at Relic 8 with R2, they as well can get the job done. Not sure if you can autoplay it. I'm not sure if I tried it actually. Maybe you could, I don't know. Maybe I'll try it next time. Anyways, again, similar like some of the other missions here, I wanted to make sure I do finish them so I can make the full clear video. So I played them manually, didn't want to fool around too much. Again, I've been using this team for like 2-3 months now, and they always kind of pull through. Again, just kind of going after pikes here. All right. Now sometimes it does happen, I think, that I would lose somebody. I think, did I ever lose? I'm just thinking, or was it on another planet that I lost Padawan, Obi-Wan? I can't remember. No, I don't think on this mission I ever lost anybody. I'm probably thinking on another planet, on Lothal. I think sometimes I would lose somebody. Here on Kessel, you know, pretty straightforward, especially once again, you know, just keep pikes under control, take them out, and these pirates are just like, you know, can I just finish the battle and move on to the next one? We already have enough battles to do as is here in this sector. But as you can see, straightforward thing. I went there with the basic to try and get a stun on pike. Let's see, there we go. Yeah, almost lost R2 there actually, but yeah, R2 doesn't really do a whole lot. I mean, he's getting some stuns out there, but I'm pretty sure if, to be honest, R2 doesn't have great mods. He's got like 5 dot mods on him, you know, so probably that's why. Whereas the other guys, they do have good mods because of the raid, of course. Yeah, just getting down to the last pike, and then, you know, the pirates are just like, you know, a trivial task of these missions are the pirates. There we go. So at this point I'm like, hit auto play. These pirates are no threat, so take them down as well. Okay, so let's go ahead and finish off with the fleet mission. Now normally I would use Executor here, but my Executor was not available, so probably had to put it down in operations. So I did use Profundity here, which means I will not be able to use Profundity over Lothal, which what I normally do. So that's okay, at least show you some alternative options that I wouldn't use otherwise. Not sure if you can autoplay this one with Profundity. These guys do hit pretty hard, to be honest, but yeah. And you're forced to have a ghost in starting slot, yikes. Anyway, I'm just kind of mowing down there Xanadu Blood. The good thing about this mission is because of the all confused mechanics, Houndstooth never gets to taunt, which is nice. There we go, we got to the ultimate, started bringing some more reinforcements, and now that obviously we do have ultimate, they can't recover health, and we can just go ahead and hit full auto at this point. And yeah, Profundity works. I do prefer Executor in this mission, but I did not have Executor available. Let's head over to Lothal now. Let's go ahead and start off. What am I starting off with? I'm starting off with the Jedi mission. Yeah. So ideally, you know, I would use a better Jedi squad, but I had to use some Jedi over there, as you've seen on Kessel. But even with this suboptimal Jedi lineup, full auto, you know, you still get through it. The amount of turns, I think having Grandmaster Yoda in there helps. He's taking a lot of turns, and then also having General Skywalker in there for where he's increasing cooldowns. I think those two are very nice to have if you don't have anybody else. Nice Jedi lineup, full auto, nothing to say here really. And same thing goes for Leia. Leia, just hit full auto and you're good to go. Basically Leia, Drogon, and then whatever you have in the Rebel department. Obviously we do have Cassian and Radis from Profundity farm, and then Fulcrum now from the Ahsoka farm as well. And these guys, you know, they handle their business, no issues whatsoever on full auto. Then up next we got the Pheonix one. I'm not sure if you can actually do this without Captain Rex, because I wasn't here yet before Captain Rex was released, so keen to find out if any of you was able to do this without Captain Rex before. But if you do have Captain Rex, you can full auto-ish. If you do full auto, I don't know, I don't always win. It just depends like how the RNG goes, but if you don't have time, there's a still good chance you can just full auto this one as well. And now we go into the fleet one as well. So you can see Lothal, pretty straightforward for the most part. The missions are quick because I speed them up because it's full auto for the most part. And the fleet mission, again, normally I would use Profundity here, but again, because I had to use Profundity there on Kessel, that's what I have left over with. Just get the ability blocks out, and I think at this point you can then just hit full auto and you should be good to go. So Negotiator, with Marauder obviously can get the job done. There we go, got him out. What they've got, okay, full auto. Negotiator handling the business in the absence of Profundity. There we go, nice. And now we are ready to move to the final planet, which is the bonus planet Mandalore. Yeah, let's start off with fleet. I started off with fleet, okay, alright. This one again, pretty straightforward. You can use Executrix as well, but if you do have Leviathan, it's basically an auto battle. So if I do have a Leviathan available, I go ahead and do that. The only reason is I'm just kind of, before I'm hitting auto, I just want to make sure I drop an isolate on Anakin so AI doesn't do something else. And then once Anakin is isolated, hit full auto, and I'm pretty sure you can't take anybody out until you hit ultimate. They're very durable, very tanky, but obviously once you do hit the ultimate, things start falling apart for the enemies. Yeah, sure, Anakin's down, Marauder is up next, I guess. So yeah, if you got Leviathan, full auto. If not, Executrix and other ships can get it done as well, as I've shown you in my previous videos. Now let's do the ground missions first. So this is the one I have a little bit of a problem with before we look at the mission. CG makes us Relic 9 our Mandalorians, even though this is Sector 4 where it's a Relic 8 requirement. At the minimum, this should be giving out some get-free currency. Am I right? I think I'm right. But anyways, rant over. Let's roll the footage. Definitely a bit of an annoying mission, this one, but for the most part, especially if you got all the operations filled in, it's kind of straightforward. Especially with operations, I think you get like extra speed or something and some damage immunity and things like that, so it just makes it safer. But even without operations filled in, you can still get it done. So yeah, after I dispel the taunt from their Veers, I'm gonna go all out on, well, I tried to go out on Death Trooper, because like, I think he's like the only damage dealer from my testing. But that's why we got Whistling Birds now. We can ignore the taunt, get Death Trooper out of there. So, you know, and then we're going after Veers next. We go. But yeah, Veers got that buff, it's a mythos or something, right? And in our case, Pass have it, so they're like juiced up in terms of survivability. A bit of a funny one here with Scout Trooper. If it's hiding itself too long, they keep resummoning Probe Droid. Okay, so this one, similar like previous wave, to be honest. I tried to go after Death Trooper first again, because in terms of the damage, is the biggest threat. Okay, alright. Oof, the healing immunity is definitely annoying here a little bit. Let's go ahead and cleanse it off. Well, at least from the scoundrel allies, right? Let's go ahead and get the taunt off from Imperial Probe Droid. Alright, okay. Alright, we got a taunt over there. Now, unfortunately, this is not Grand Arena. We can't ignore taunts with the bow, but OG bow there coming in with a dispel. So now we can go ahead, finally get the Death Trooper taken care of. Come on. That's all what you've got for me, guys. Sheesh. Alright, now we got a taunt on Dark Trooper Moff Gideon again. So definitely a bit of a rougher time here in this one. I think we didn't have operations field here yet, I think. I'm not sure. Yeah, lost IG there. I'm like, fine, let's go ahead. Nuke Death Trooper out there. And yeah, with Death Trooper out, they don't really have a whole lot of damage output, to be honest. Yeah, there we go. Team started falling apart now. Let's go ahead, apply damage immunity. The only annoying thing is, you know, constant taunts and things like that getting in your way, because I feel like Bo should be able to ignore taunt everywhere, not just the Grand Arena, but that's just me. Anyway, looks like, as you can see, Whistling Birds are doing heavy lifting in this one, finishing off there. Oh, I cut off the footage for some reason. But anyway, as you've seen, I guarantee you battle was over. Not sure what happened while I was editing the footage. So from one tough mission to even tougher one. I'm not even sure I have the most optimal lineup. This is just what I have at Relic 8 and what's kind of been working for the most part, but this first wave is just such an RNG fest sometimes, because Maul is just, there's no consistency between what he does. And as you can see in this case, Maul got that blue Mythosaur buff or whatever it's called, where sometimes somebody else gets it, and then it depends who gets it, it can be more or less annoying the battle. So I wish I could give you like a consistent experience for this one, but it's just kind of like, you know, here I'm trying to work out which one is the AoE so we can proc those staggers. There we go. Hopefully we can get Death Trooper in here with a buff dispel so Maul stops counterattacking. Alright, I'm gonna save there the revive, I guess, for later if we need it. There's also, I think, sometimes a bit of danger in this one. Like, I think Django, right? He's got healing immunity on his special ability. If he gets healing immunity, you know, Dark Trooper Moff Gideon, and you don't have a cleanse ready, then when Maul eventually starts getting through your Dark Trooper Moff Gideon, right? Dark Trooper Moff Gideon, I think when he's supposed to be defeated for the first time or something like that, another one of his allies dies instead, and then he recovers health and protection. But if he's got healing immunity on him from Django, he can't recover health and protection, and then just Maul keeps whacking him until he goes down, because obviously it happens sometimes. There's, as I said, you know, some RNG in this one, so maybe there's more optimal lineup, but this is what I have at Relic 8. However, I feel like, I guess Scout Trooper is good there for the dispel, for the clans. I think Death Trooper is needed as well, especially in the next wave for the Death Mark. He'll be key to deal with Paz, Moff Gideon to reduce the damage. So I guess the only optional slot is the Night Trooper, so maybe there could be a better trooper than Night Trooper in there. Maybe OG Stormtrooper, but I had Night Trooper at Relic 7 already. So I thought, like, you know what, bring Night Trooper from Relic 7 to Relic 8 instead of bringing my Stormtrooper from Relic 5 to Relic 8, just to save some Relic materials. But maybe having another tank could help. Anyway, we got through it eventually. Now heading into the next wave. Again, you want to save your special attacks. So I'm just kind of doing basic attacks here. We go, pom pom, pom pom. Alright. Okay, that should do it. So here, the key is, what I like to do, you just want to blitz down Beskar Mando, and then you can land Death Mark on Paz. That's my strategy being always. Seems like Beskar Mando is the weakest. He's like the only one with bonus protection on him to start off. So you can see we're doing some good progress on him. A couple of more hits and hopefully he'll go down. Okay. Alright, let's go ahead. Bomb bomb. Oof, almost got him. Here comes Paz with his resilient defense or whatever it's called. Let's do an AoE. Get a buff dispel, and now let's see if we can finish off Beskar Mando. Okay. Oof, they got healing immunity on Dark Trooper Moff Gideon. That's not good. Alright, now we just need our Death Trooper to get a turn, so he can put then Death Mark over on Paz, so we can get rid of Paz. As you can see, Paz does a lot of damage. And this is what I'm saying. Healing immunity on Gideon is really tough because he wasn't able to recover it there, any health or protection. But he's hanging. Another healing immunity, yikes. Alright. Okay. There we go. Finally, we got Death Mark there on Paz. Come on, a couple more hits. One more, and I think Paz should go down. That should do it. And then as soon as Paz goes down, I mean, this battle is in the bag. Yeah, I'll just try to guess. Looks like I tried to go after IG Grogu because of the constant healing immunity, but he's very tanky and very durable. Oh, he's even getting taunt on him. There we go, Death Mark again helping us out there, taking down IG-12. So yeah, again, not sure what the most optimal lineup for this one. Obviously, if you do have Enoch and his Omicron, probably things are easier. But this is what I'm working with, obviously without any territory battle Omicrons and this one. And let's move over onto the final one for this video. We see Jedi Master Kenobi. So let's just go ahead, get in there. Again, not sure what was happening with edits. Did I show Jabba in there? Man, it's been a long video, editing lots of footage for a couple of days, so I guess, you know, things do happen. But what I like to start off here with General Master Kenobi is actually put damage immunity on General Kenobi, because otherwise he'll just get blitzed down in the opening sequence. These guys are so fast. They're not gaining bonus turn meter, it's just that their speed is so high. And you know, we'll be able to get to Force Sleep after a couple of turns with Ahsoka anyways, because of Xian and reducing cooldowns from there. So definitely I would suggest, if you are using this team, whoever your tank is, Plo, Wrecker, Fives, General Kenobi, whoever your one tank here is, put damage immunity on them to start off, so you know they can take up all the hits. And just when General Kenobi was starting to get low on health, we had the high ground ready, we have the Force Sleep ready, and that's how I handle it. Again, Death Trooper first, then Veers, and then the rest is again just kind of like filler units, similar like pirates on Kessel. So again, just gonna speed up the footage here. Nothing to see here except Scout Trooper constantly hiding in stealth, but a good thing is I think General Master Kenobi, when he has high ground, he's dispelling stealth on his turn. There we go. Okay, good. We got rid of the taunt. I like to go after Dark Trooper first, after I land healing immunity on him. Because obviously if you do land healing immunity on Dark Trooper, then it can't regain health whenever it loses a stack. So then you can take him down very quickly, especially calling Ahsoka to assist or using her basing that deals damage twice. But anyway, make sure that you got Force Sleep ready out of the gate. In this one, just nuke out Gideon, so you know you don't need to deal with his taunt anymore. And again, putting damage immunity on your tank so he can take all the hits and not take any damage. There we go. Let's see if we can finally get that healing immunity locked in. There we go. Perfect. All right. So as you can see now, Dark Trooper will go down very, very quickly because of the healing immunity. He won't be able to recover health and protection. As soon as I get a turn. There we go. Actually having Arc Trooper in there if you don't have a snips available is nice, because his turret dispels buffs as well, so he can kind of replace, I guess, Ahsoka. Anyway, with Dark Trooper down, Death Trooper is our next target, and at this point you're probably just good to go and hit autoplay, except I don't know, but I know how to deal with the whole stealth cheese thing that Scout Trooper has going, with a constant summoning of Probe Droid. There we go, knocked him down. And this, my friends, completes now full clear of Sector 4 here. And as you can see as well, and as mentioned in the beginning of the video, this was recorded over 2 days because we kind of stagger. So actually what Haven and Kessel, we max out on day 4. I think Mandalore we have on day 4 and 5, whereas Lothal we just unlock on day 5. So yeah, a bit of a staggering planets, but again, this is kind of like, you know, even though it wasn't a technical full clear in a single day, I didn't reuse any units as if, you know, it would be a day, just to simulate that. So if you are aspiring, obviously looking at what teams to build out, hopefully some of these teams here showed you how they work. I guess not all of them are optimal, but as always and everything in the game, I'm always trying to minimize the amount of resources I invest in units, so to always try to use already those relics I have from, you know, other unlock requirements from other events. So I try to minimize relicking something specifically just for territory battles. That's why kind of, you know, Galactic Legend Ahsoka's requirements were a bit tough to swallow, but hey, at least we got lots of relic 7s, you know, more relic 9s added to our roster, which helps with the territory battles eventually. Alright guys, thank you for watching. Hopefully you found this video useful and helpful, and believe it or not, I already started working on Sector 5 videos as well. I think I'll be doing Vandor first, then Rings of Kafrene, and then I'll do the Malachor last. I think that one will take, because for the most part I have more Relic 9 light side units for some reason, and when it comes to dark side it'll take a while to get those up. But definitely think Vandor video should be coming out maybe in a couple of weeks, and then Kafrene maybe in 4 weeks. On Kafrene I'm still kind of testing things out to see, you know, what teams I have, which ones work best, and I'll make video. But I think Vandor I've got pretty much nailed down. I'm just doing some final testing and recording of those battles. Alright guys, thank you for watching. Again, see you in the next one, but until then, have fun, enjoy life, and may the RNG be with you, my friends.